Welcome, everyone, to this week's News and Updates by Mark. And I am Laurel, the host. Mark is our wonderful producer and host, and we had a little bit of technical difficulty this week for those of you that are live, but we lost our live stream capability. Don't you just love technology? So we're going to be doing this again for you because we want you to stay updated with what's going on here in AltSpace, and there is a ton of things going on here in AltSpace, so hang on to your butts, as Yunji says, when she starts to reset the space, and here we go with some great AltSpace news. Now, the remodel started this week. We have been doing all kinds of fun remodeling. So earlier this week on Tuesday, we had some stuff beginning the process, but I want to let you know that Sunday, middle of the night, or Monday morning, depending on your time zone, AltSpace will be down for a few hours for just some maintenance stuff. Not a big deal. They're probably getting new servers. Will be faster. Will be better. I don't know what's going on, but it's just some basic maintenance and updates. So hold on to your butts, as Yunji so beautifully says, and let's be prepared that AltSpace will be off. It's not gone. It's not going anywhere. Just doing maintenance, okay? So if you can't get in, that's why. But also this week, on Tuesday, the remodel really started off with the avatars being narrowed down to 5 options. Now, some customization like the glow remains as it's pulled from outside AltSpace, though it's not likely to last long, so be aware. The remodel has started with our avatars. And a date has been set in the next week and a half or so for work to begin on the front row for event hosts. So if you host an event, check Yunji's open office hours on Sunday for details and answers to the questions you may have about that. Also check out her Discord channel for the events hub. And we found out originally it was supposed to be 2 weeks that front row was supposed to be down for event hosts. It now looks like they can do it in 1 week, and we're really hoping it's going to fix a lot of the problems we've been having. So we're excited about that. So I know it's inconvenient for a week, but you know, it's going to be better, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So to quote Jeremy from EvolveVR, who recently said on one of the world building forums with the Discord channel with all this going on, that he likes looking at this from this attitude of curiosity. And I like that. We're going to see, what are they going to do? And I'm looking forward to it. So among that curiosity, be paying attention to that a lot of the event spaces for environments and some of the activities are going to be shifting and changing over the next couple months as they work towards certification and qualification for Oculus Quest and the other mobile devices that are coming out. So it's a little bit of dust, a little inconvenience, but things are going to get much better. And speaking of the Quest, you may use it here. Just a reminder that the Quest is able to be side-loaded here in AltSpace, so you can just come on in. And please consider yourself early adopters and testers, reporting the issues you have to the support team to help with the whole process, so you can be our testers. The Quest is just the first of the new mobile and tethered devices that are coming out this year that are going to bring some improved resolution to your immersive experience here in AltSpace, as well as other virtual reality games and apps. So sideload up some Quest and check it out. Now let's look at some world building news. This month celebrates Pride here in AltSpace with events and worlds all around AltSpace that may be featuring or celebrating Pride Month. Accordingly, AltSpace has 2 very cool things that are happening. First, there's a new kit by Nira in the World Building Featured Kit that's for beta users that anyone can access that features rainbows, and then you can use them to represent Pride or just put some rainbows around to help with decorating your event spaces and your world. Second, there is a float parade coming on. We've done this before. We love this. If you'd like to participate in celebrating Pride Month, there's a parade. You can enter a parade. You can create your own parade. It must be completed by Sunday, June 10th, and the parade will be June 12th at a special event. The float building guidelines state the float must be no more than 10 by 6 grid squares and limited to 45 pages, around 315 objects. It must be all green on the diagnostics, and the float may be built by individuals or teams. Now, we've done, as I said, many floats here before, and it's been way, way too much fun. It's a great way to work with others and really push your creativity. And I don't know, Mark and I have done the floats, and we've worked on so many projects together. It's really, and so we with other people, we love the collaboration that's here. It's just way too much fun. So check this out. We have the information right on his Discord channel. You can have all that information there, or check out the LGBTQ plus Discord channel as well, and help spread rainbows around Altspace to celebrate Pride Month. We love it. Now, we have some new moving clouds for your worlds in a new feature kit called Clouds. To use them, there's a graphic with instructions to place in your world through the world editor. And basically, all you have to do is add the clouds. You pick one of 3 clouds and you put them in there, and they form a curve around your world. Just make them bigger, fill in the space, and they move. It's wonderful. So well done. And thanks to the creative geniuses we have among all of our world builders. They're really pushing the limits. And speaking of creative geniuses, the mad scientist himself, Ancient I Won't Say, presented the SDK group with the first ever earthquake machine in Altspace. Okay, I wish I had a video for this. You're just going to have suffice with my description. So he's built this earthquake machine. He didn't have to. He could have just shaken the world, but he's made a machine to make it more fun. And he promised to rock our world, and that's what he's done. So he's customized the starting and stopping points, and when initiated, the machine shakes the world around you intermittently like an earthquake. Now, if you stand on one of the ridges, and it goes off, and you can watch everybody shaking with it, and you slide right down the hill. It's just awesome. So we have some exciting things planned for this, so stay tuned. And if you find them in World, ask them about it, have them show you. It's amazing. We went on a tour after the news and updates show, and people were just laughing. It was brilliant. It was wonderful. It's so realistic. And I love how world builders are pushing the limits of Altspace to literally infinity and beyond. It's wonderful. So world builders, please remember that if you wish to have your world tested before going public, share it in the Discord channel for world building in the sharing channel. And that'll allow us to come in and help you make it better, make sure it works across different devices. And when you're ready, you can post it again, announce that it's ready to go, and it might get featured a little faster if you do that. So make sure you get it in, you join our world building Discord channel, and you post information about words, and you can also ask for some help. It's fantastic. Now, we're going to do a little special project here. I've heard that several people lately are saying that world building must be really hard, and they really want help with it because it just feels so complicated. Honestly, if you can figure out how to install and get your headset working, you can build your own world. The basics are literally drag and drop. There's no programming, though it helps to know the very basics of geometry. You work in a circle, clockwise, counterclockwise. It's pretty easy. But it's not necessary. And we think of world building in 2 ways. First, creating your own world helps you create a meeting, a social, or an event space. Pretty basic. It's really fun. Second, world building is like a canvas. It's like painting. It's like sculpture. It's an opportunity for you to express yourself. And we've had some creative expressions over the last 9 months or so since the arrival of the world editor in Altspace. And here are just a few examples. Up in the left corner, we have the amazing work done by a whole team of people, and there's new worlds being added for Earth Day. And that's continuing on. It's been so popular. We have the wonderful Snoopy from our Thanksgiving parade, and we have some other parade pictures in here too as well. Homer is amazing when it comes to sculpting with just some basic rocks and basic geometrics. He's amazing. And he did his famous dragon from Homer's Nightmare. Homer's Nightmare is the King Kong, who's being attacked with a helicopter and rockets. And then his dragon is in What's Wrong with Homer's Brain. Check it out. That is an amazing space. It's also one of not the largest, but it's one of the largest spaces in Altspace with the terms of physical space as well as assets. So check out What's Wrong with Homer's Brain. And he's also been playing around with a little Wizard of Oz stuff. We love that. For Halloween last year, and then we brought it in again. We repeated the event for New Year's Eve. Was our incredible Halloween maze. Oh, that was great. There were 4 main builders and 6 spaces. And we created this in like 10 days, and it was, or less, and there's been over 2,000, maybe 3,000 people who have toured through this thing for special events. And it's really amazing, and hopefully we'll be bringing that out again pretty soon. But great artistry. You know, this is before Unity was coming in. I mean, amazing stuff. Caitlin did this incredible, for the Chinese New Year, this lantern celebration where lanterns came up out of the water, and she'd assign wishes and send them off from people. It was wonderful. One of the coolest spaces, not the coolest, but that's coming up. But great event space is the Screen Queen event where you stand on the flag. It's great bleachers, best bleachers in AltSpace, that I'll say. So the Screen Queen event that recreates Live Aid in many respects. That's every weekend on Sundays. Great event space, big team collaborative project. We have dancing skeletons boogieing out to Michael Jackson. And improv night, they keep changing things up all the time. You never know what you're going to find when you go to improv night. In our parades, we had for Thanksgiving last year, we had Pokemon float. We had Joker's incredible, the Grinch, made out of artichokes. It was fantastic. And Ancient I Won't Say's new Skrillex Cathedral. Oh, you got to talk to him about how he did this. It's all done with programming. Amazing. And of course, if I may brag myself, the most amazing theater space in all of AltSpace, which is the Doctor Who meetup space, which is in a giant Dalek. You get to watch the Doctor Who goodies we have in there every 2 weeks. It's amazing. I love building that. At Christmas last year, we had some incredible stuff. We had some sleigh, this beautiful thing by Homer do the sleigh. He also did this absolutely amazing Polar Express where we had events reading the story of Polar Express. We had the night before Christmas reading spaces, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We had, Kaylin did a great Advent tree, which every day she brought out a new goodie, came out of world building. It was just amazing. And Tony Films did a great Christmas social space. We had several parties there where you could get a picture next to Santa. There was a mall that we turned in, a big shopping mall that we created with all kinds of Christmas windows and stuff where you could meet Santa. Schmidt-Tech got to play Santa. We have great activities here, great collaboration. So hopefully this little walk through the last few months will inspire you to create your own, and be sure you show up for the basic beginning building worlds in AltSpace that happens every Tuesday, the meetup, and the World Builders meetup that happens just about an hour later. And then don't forget, for the programming for Unity and stuff and the MRE, check out the SDK meetup that's on Wednesdays to learn more about how to build in AltSpace. And you'll get tons of help at help.altvr.com and developer.altvr.com, and in our Discord channels. We'll have the links in a moment for you. Now, let's look for some more inspiration from some of the new worlds that just came out this week. We have The Storm by DJ Puppet, where the rain is pouring down and there's lightning striking across. It's a great take on using weather to create an environment in AltSpace. Just genius. Love it. And Yoko Ono has created a Japanese dream, which is these islands that are very peaceful, lovely gardens, wander around, and just relax. It's a great space. And speaking of not relaxing, the Toy Box by Mr. Vodlock is disturbing at first until you realize you're one of the toys in the toy box. Imagine being reduced down to that size, thrown in a box with a clutter of different toys, and having a little party down there, a little hot tub down in the toy box. Anyway, with a new Toy Story coming out this week, it feels really appropriate. And it's a lot overwhelming. It's very cool. Check that out. Now, going back to more peaceful time periods, check out the Sound Bath Meditation by Liz, the Great Grapehead. Didn't name her. This is what it says on there. It's an island nature scene to explore and relax in, and take a few moments to meditate, take some deep breaths, recenter yourself, and then go into the toy box and go bonkers. We love our nature spaces here, and few people do nature spaces better than Daisy Shaw. She's created another amazing nature space this time. It's called The Expedition. It features a cave right under the waterfall to explore around through the caverns and just explore the nature, have fun. We love all of our world builders, but we have a fondness for those who push the limits of AltSpace world building. Alan's been doing that for a few months, and his newest project is called The Whisper Room, or Whisper. You need to go in there with another person, and then you whisper around the giant microphone, and it's amazing. Okay, I'm not going to tell you any more than this. I'm not going to give anything away. You got to grab a friend and go there and check it out. It's really, I love it when people make their imagination manifest in AltSpace, and you can do the same thing. Because remember, everyone can build their own world here. You've just seen a ton of wonderful examples. And so attend the world building meetups. Check out help.altvr.com or developer.altvr.com and join the Discord groups that are coming up pretty soon on our list here. Whew, that is a lot of world building. Now, let's look at some events. As mentioned, the events here in AltSpace have been asked to join in the celebration of Pride Month. So expect to see much of AltSpace in the event spaces decorated with beautiful rainbows and flags to show our support and love for all the tolerant and fantastic community that we have around here. We're still working on the patience, but tolerance we got lots of. I love our accepting and loving community. And, that's the amazing part of AltSpace in this virtual community. We're creating this community, and we define what we want it to be like. And this is really representative of what we need to make our world like. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So celebrate Pride with us, all right? Now, Tony Films is back. He's been busy, and he's now back. He's one of our great world builders and event hosts, and he just presents these really interesting social events. And tonight, which is Saturday night, he's launching a new feature with the amazing Bob Ross. The joy of painting with Bob Ross brings back to life this inimitable television painting artist to AltSpace with a custom world that Tony's created featuring a sculptured Bob Ross and paintings by Tony Films inspired by Bob Ross. And this week, he's featuring the video The Grandeur of Summer to help you learn how to paint just like Bob Ross. You too can do these wonderful little happy mountains, happy trees, happy bushes, happy clouds. Now, Bob Ross died in 1995, and yet he and his painting, his videos and stuff is more popular now than ever before. And I got to tell you, I am really surprised when I meet kids that are under 16. They know more about Bob Ross than adults do who actually were alive when Bob Ross was alive. So it's really amazing. So check out the event tonight, and you'll find it there. And if it's after the event, look out for maybe next week he's going to do it again. So check that out. Now, this week, Lethbridge College VR Global Forum was presented here in AltSpace for 1 day, but for 3 days physically in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The VR Global Forum consists of events in the Convention Center in Calgary with top speakers in VR, AR, and XR, and with mixed realities and other spatial technologies. And there was this day-long track in AltSpace on Thursday. Now, this was a private event, which was kind of unfortunate, but it was free, and it wasn't in the public calendar, but I wanted to share with you how it worked, as these things are happening here in AltSpace every week, and sometimes every day, and you have no idea because it's disconnected from the community. And there's a lot going on that we don't see as a community behind the scenes. So I wanted to give this little behind the scenes of how this worked. So many of these events are happening in the real world as well as inclusion here in AltSpace, and they bring together people from all around the world to connect and communicate. And in this particular event, they had 17 Oculus Go headsets set up in a room in the convention center, and the avatars were already positioned in the event space. And attendees could come in, and they could put the headsets on, and get help figuring out how to put that on, some for the first time, some who had done it before. And they could hang out for a half hour, an hour, however long they wanted to, because there were speakers about every 30 minutes with a 10-minute break in between all day long, in addition to all the live events that were going on at the convention center. So people could hang out here in AltSpace and see a speaker here, and then also go out and attend all the other things. Now, one of our beloved moderators and the host of the AltspaceVR 101 team on Mondays, Donna, was hosting the AltspaceVR speakers track while physically there, helping people get on their headphones and their headsets, rounding up speakers that were there at the event, tuning in from around the world, making sure that the Altspace track stayed literally on track. She was there all day. It was amazing the amount of work that was involved in keeping track of the virtual as well as the physical. They had speakers, some of the best in education, in corporate development and training, programming, psychology, healthcare, smart cities, neuroscience, virtual social communities, and so much more. It was an amazing experience. Thanks to Donna and everyone at Lethbridge College for hosting this great event and sharing it with educators in VR and other AltSpace community members for free. We got to attend. It was fantastic. Consider doing the same for your educational institution, for your hobby, your professional group, or maybe even for the company you work for. By incorporating AltSpace event spaces and the great events team into your next event, you can not only reach further to connect globally with people, but you can also share the fantastic experience that we know by living and thriving in this virtual world that we live in here in AltSpace. So check that out. Now, little birds in the trees are telling us that Dave 58 has 3 new event spaces he's putting final touches on for movies and concerts and social gatherings. So stay tuned for news on these. And the spaces, okay, we've seen them. A few of us have seen them. The spaces are great. And everyone knows that David creates some of the most fun here in AltSpace Town. So stay tuned for news on that. In addition to the many wonderful regular events this week, including meditation, the rooftop, the Doctor Who meetup, open mic, center stage, Screen Queen, mingle and chill improv night, podcasts, concerts with Luke and Yoonji and so many others, and the great meetup events like the Women in XR and Allies, the LGBTQ plus health IT with Chuck Webster. He's incredible. Church and synagogues. We have so much going on here. There's no reason to be bored or even leave AltSpace. So if you're on mobile, get yourself a longer cord, a fan, cooling unit for your device, and rock on as long as you can here in AltSpace. Now, last night, which was Friday night, I was at synagogue helping to moderate. And Joker, our resident rabbi and unofficial mayor of AltSpace, he spoke about a life of service and the power of service to be helpful and useful to others by being an active part of the community. And he named names and pointed around the room to those in attendance that did more than just hang out in AltSpace, but gave back. They contributed in some way to make this a better place and a space to hang out in. And it made me realize how important AltspaceVR is as a community. As a community, we're reliant on our community members to encourage and support each other. And these events, they don't happen in a vacuum. Event hosts need moderators to help monitor the news and provide support. We need event hosts to present events and meetups on a wide range of topics to bring together like-minded individuals to connect and build smaller communities with common interests. You know, Mark and I couldn't do this without each other and with all of the other people that make this happen. And same thing with all the different events. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you. But we also need more help. So think about how you can live a life of service right here in AltSpace. And we'd love you to get involved with our AltspaceVR Community Helper Program and with our wonderful volunteer meetups that we have every weekend. And check out our Discord channel for all the volunteers and the world builders and all the stuff that's going on here. And see how you too can be of service here to our community and help us make this the great space that it is. And I love it. I'm going to start crying here, so let's start rounding this up. So please check out all the different events that are on here, and don't forget to check on those activities to jump in and play games, and create some of your own, and be social. Give people a place to go, something to do, and start meeting some people and making some friends. And remember, if you want to share your event and let it be known, let us know in our Discord channel so we can share it with others. So here are our Discord channels for AltspaceVR, for our volunteers groups, for the world builders, and for the news and updates. We've got all the discussions going on. And don't forget, in our news and updates, we also have some news you can use, some VR industry and device updates and information. And we have all kinds of news about what's happening here in AltSpace, especially with the remodel. So join us here on Discord and through our live stream on our YouTube channel. We have a live stream when it works. We also do have our recordings are up there, so you can watch us at any time that works for you during the week. And you can also subscribe to our AltSpace subscription channel at account.altvr.com, channels, news, updates, so you can keep up with what's going on here. So thanks again to Mark, our fantastic producer, and to all of our volunteers and our moderators that help make this event a success. If you would like to volunteer to help us out, we would love it. We need people to help present, to do script writing, to take pictures of all the different events and worlds that are coming out. We need people to do some featured reports and help film and moderate the news weekly. So see us on our Discord channel or after the show to find out how you too can get involved, because we do this for you, our AltSpace community. This is our service to help you stay informed and up to date on what's happening in our community. And we'll see you here, same time, next week, same station. Thanks all.